Today is Maha Shivratri and the 1.5 month long Maha Kumbh in Prayagraj gets over tonight. At last count, over 65 crore devotees had taken the holy dip at the Sangam Ghat. Now, these millions, they have flocked to one of the holiest places in Hinduism, not because the Prime Minister asked them to or the UP Chief Minister asked them to. They did so because of their astha or their belief. But politics is not far away. Mamata Banerjee and Akhilesh Yadav have belittled the efforts of the state administration. They point to the two major tragedies that have happened over the last month. The stampede that first happened on Mani Amavasya on the 29th of January, one of the holiest days, where 30 people were killed. And then, of course, there was the stampede at the New Delhi railway station that happened earlier this month. Of course, these are terrible human tragedies and accountability needs to be fixed for those. But are they taking away from the larger picture, which is that this was the largest congregation of humanity at one given place over a month-and-a-half period at any point of time in recent history? So, should we keep the big picture in mind, or are opposition politicians just politicizing these two tragedies and saying and belittling in many ways the astha or the belief of these 65 crore Indians who took the holy dip? So the culmination of this 45-day Maha Kumbh, it's historic in many aspects. Like I said, at last count, it was a little over 66 crore devotees who took the holy dip at the Maha Kumbh. It makes it the largest congregation of humanity at any given point of time in recent history. It has exceeded the state's expectations. In fact, before the Kumbh began in mid-January, the UP government had estimated about 45 crore people to turn up and take the holy dip. 1.4 crore people took the holy dip on the occasion of Shivratri. That's the figures that we have till 6 p.m. That number will further go up. In fact, 15,000 sanitation workers were on the ground throughout this period to try and make the Kumbh a better experience for devotees. 1.2 million temporary jobs have been created over the last month and a half. 14,000 trains were organized to facilitate the ease of movement. Some of them, of course, had to be temporarily halted. Some stations had been blocked. The Prayagraj station itself was shut for a brief while. But overall, 7,000 buses, including more than 500 shuttle buses, were plying to and fro since private vehicles were barred from entering the zones close to the Ghats for pedestrian movement. The installation of 30 ponton bridges over the river to try and help the devotees cross over to safer places where they can take the holy dip. So all of that has happened over the last month and a half. Let's listen in to some sound bites that have come in, and then we'll go across to our political face-off.
পরে আবার কুম্ভ হবে বা 144 বছর আগে এটা হয়েছে। আমি একটু অজ্ঞ আছি এ ব্যাপারে। যদি কেউ বিশিষ্ট মানুষ থাকেন, আমি তাদের কাছে অনুরোধ করব যে আপনারা একটু গবেষণা করে আমাদের জানাবেন সঠিক সত্যটা কি, সঠিক তথ্যটা কি। যে পরিবারগুলো তাদের স্বজনকে হারিয়েছে তারা যেন ইমিডিয়েট কম্পেনসেশনের টাকা পায়।
जो अपने परिवार के सदस्यों को ढूंढ रहे थे, एक बेटी अपनी माँ को ढूंढ रही थी, भाई भाई को ढूंढ रहा था, लोग आकर के अपने घर वालों को ढूंढ रहे थे जो अभी तक नहीं मिले हैं। क्या ढूंढने वालों को सरकार गिद्ध बोल रही थी? और सबसे बड़ा सवाल है, ये जो सुअर का नाम ले रहे हैं, ये हम लोगों ने किसी ने नहीं कहा कि पानी खराब है गंगा का। सेंट्रल पॉल्यूशन बोर्ड ने कहा है कि ये गंगा का पानी खराब है। गंगा का पानी नहाने लायक भी नहीं है, आचमन तो भूल जाइए। तो सोचिए सरकार किसको सुअर कह रही थी।
All right, so that Central Pollution Control Board report that Akhilesh Yadav was referring to, they have now clawed back on that, but we'll get to that with more details in some time. But there were a lot of politicians, right from the Prime Minister, the President of India, the Vice President, Yogi Adityanath, various state chief ministers, many of whom who turned up at Prayagraj to take the Maha Kumbh holy dip. But there were some politicians who were conspicuous by their absence at the Maha Kumbh. Most notably was leader of the opposition Rahul Gandhi. In fact, he was in Rai Bareli just a few days ago, but he did not visit Prayagraj. It's barely a couple of hours between Rai Bareli and Prayagraj. He did not go for the Maha Kumbh. His sister, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Member of Parliament from Wayanad, she too gave a miss to the Maha Kumbh. Sonia Gandhi, of course, has been unwell relatively for some time now. So I guess there is some degree of understanding there. She has not turned up for the Maha Kumbh. Mamata Banerjee, you heard from Mamata Banerjee a short while ago, the West Bengal Chief Minister. She didn't turn up to take the holy dip either. In fact, Mamata Banerjee has often given the example of the Ganga Sagar Mela, which happens in Bengal, and compared it to the Maha Kumbh, saying how the Ganga Sagar Mela got sort of stepmotherly treatment from the central government. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge also did not show up at the Maha Kumbh. He asked if the Ganga dips during Maha Kumbh would end poverty. Uddhav Thackeray, former Maharashtra Chief Minister, and his son Aditya Thackeray both were missing as well. In fact, interestingly, BJP allies, and many would say the government sort of depends on the support of these two allies, Nitish Kumar, the Bihar Chief Minister, and Chandrababu Naidu, the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, both of them gave a miss to the gathering, even though the Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Pawan Kalyan, was there taking the dip. So it's interesting. It's a mix of both opposition as well as some ruling coalition politicians who gave a miss to the Maha Kumbh in Prayagraj. This concludes the entire month and a half period of the Maha Kumbh, but politics is front and center between the BJP and, of course, the TMC and the Samajwadi Party on the other side. Let me go across to Anila Singh, National Spokesperson of the BJP. I'm also joined by Ghanshyam Tiwari, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. So, Ghanshyam, let me start with you first. 65 crore people, that's almost half the population of this country, has taken the holy dip. Why is the opposition insisting that, this is Mrityu Kumbh, not Maha Kumbh? Akhilesh Yadav, your leader, says Ravan bhi to sadhu ke vesh mein aaye the and all that. Isn't that insulting to the people who've taken the holy dip?
Good evening, Zaka, to you, the viewers, and Anila ji, and a very happy Mahashivratri to everyone who's watching the program. The three important things. One is the whole craze of dumbing down people with numbers that do not matter. Just take a look at this number 65 crore that BJP will be parroting. As per census, India has under 14 population of 42-43 crore. The next census will tell us. As per census, 15 crore people are over 65. So we are saying, or BJP wants people to listen to this tamasha, that of the 80 crore people between 14 and 65, 65 crore have taken a dip in the Holy Kumbh. What is this craze of putting out numbers that are absolutely wrong? But there is a reason why they do it, because when you put out 65 crore as a number, then you can dumb down the accountability with respect to the murderous mismanagement that caused Delhi stampede. You can dumb down the accountability with respect to not knowing the number of deaths in the stampede in Kumbh. You can dumb down the monstrous mind that said that petals should be showered on people when the dead bodies were still lying down in that stampede. You can dumb down the fact that the civilizational event is being appropriated by one party as if they have invented the event. If tomorrow Adityanath says that anybody who's not bald or clean shaved on the head is not Sanatani, does that mean that the entire country has to go bald? This kind of nonsense that BJP wants people to believe that they define who is Sanatani, who is not, was defeated in 2024 in the elections, including those in Ayodhya. So what the opposition is doing is not playing politics. It's saying that a prime minister whose suit was auctioned for 10 lakh, his government is offering 10 lakh as a compensation in a murderous stampede where people died because
so I want to separate the two parts. One is, of course, the number of people who went there. Ghanshyam is well within his right to question whether those numbers are inflated or not. And the separate part is, of course, about the unfortunate incidents that happened, the stampede that happened on Mauni Amavasya, and, of course, the stampede that happened at the Delhi railway station. But let me ask Anila ji, by, pumping up these numbers, 65 crore, 60 crore, whatever the final numbers are, Ghanshyam and his party believe that this whole thing is to try and hide away the mismanagement of the Kumbh, whether it's the deaths that happened on 29th of January or the deaths that happened at the New Delhi railway station, all of which was avoidable.
My Ram Ram to all, and today is Mahashivratri, Parv of Mahadev and Mahadevi. So, my Shubhkamnaएं to each and every Sacha Sanatani, not halal Hindus, pure Hindus. So, I want to start by saying that संकट के इस घोर तिमर में कैसे जीता जाए द्वंद, दूजी ओर गद्दार खड़े हैं और संग उनके जयचंद. We do not need any outsiders. We have got so many halal Hindus in our own nation who are ready to ridicule Sanatanis and Hindus. Imagine Samajwadi Party, questioning, "Arey, itne crore kaise aa gaye? Aap apne workers ki team laga dete." They could have counted, and then you could have said, "Oh, Yogi Adityanath ji is lying. These many people came, and he is saying that 60 crore plus came. Of course not. The number is not that much. So he is lying." You could have said, you should have some sort of evidence. Otherwise, just believe what Yogi Adityanath ji's sarkar is saying. If you are not going to believe it, again I am going to say that your party is the party of, especially if I talk about the president, halal Hindu. You need certification so that one particular religious community people, they can start believing you. They can say, okay.
But Anilaji, Akhilesh Yadav also went to the Kumbh. He also took the holy dip.
He has to do the drama, no? Like he has to take the dip in the Kumbh, and then he will say, his party will say, and he himself will say, "Arey, पानी तो इतना गंदा है, उसकी report आई है, then why did you go? Why did you go? You just wanted to please certain Hindus who keep voting for you. That was the sole reason. They do not have any respect for Maha Kumbh because they kept on questioning
Okay.
the authenticity, the creativity, the productivity, and the management which was being given by the
Okay,
Yogi
but
Sarkar.
what about the tragedies? What about the stampede that happened? What about what happened at the Delhi railway station? Opposition is saying there has to be a price to pay. You're just shoving all of that under the carpet.
No, of course not. And I will say yes, of course. Very tragic, whether we talk about the Prayagraj, Amavasya incident or the Delhi station incident. Very, very tragic. And it was like, I do not have words to express my grief, but the investigation is on because of which reason such stampede happened. Who was responsible? So let the investigation come. Then
Okay.
I doubt that there may be certain people who created the stampede because they wanted to bring bad name to Yogi Adityanath ji.
No, we will know that after the investigation. But, Ghanshyam, the moot point is, whether it is 60 crore or 50 crore or 40 crore, there's a large number of people who have turned out for the Maha Kumbh. Now, they have not turned out there because Mr. Modi asked them to go or Mr. Yogi asked them to go. They have gone there out of their own profound faith for Hindu Asta, what they believe in. Why are you belittling that is the question that's being asked.
Zaka, three things. One is that I started by wishing Mahashivratri and blessings on Mahashivratri for everyone, every Indian. For BJP national spokesperson to say that she is going to wish to real Sanatani Hindus. This is the Batange Katenge party. They treat fellow Indians with hate. If people who are questioning their murderous mismanagement are to be called halal Hindus, what are you, Zaka? In their scheme of things, people like you will not even have citizenship. You are not even entitled a wish for Mahashivratri. This is the reality of Batange Katenge party. As far as the platitudes that, I am very saddened by loss of lives, 10 lakh rupees on your murderous mismanagement? Was it a foreign conspirator involved in railways? When you saw that people were crowding the trains, when you saw how many tickets were issued, the rail minister does not have anything to answer. Was it a foreign conspirator who was showering petals when dead bodies were lying in Kumbh? This brazen act of cruelty, which is presented as an act of their model of Sanatani, is dangerous. And to call NGT as halal Hindu, it was in front of NGT that this Yogi government was tongue-tied when they could not respond to the samples collected. And on the same day, the model Sanatani, Mr. Adityanath, was in the UP Assembly parroting a blatant lie.
Okay. Anila Singh, I'll give you the final word. Point is, whether it is the bad water which the CPCB report initially put out, now they've sort of clawed back on that, whether it is mismanagement of, selling unreserved tickets, leading to crowding of station, leading to change of platform at the last minute, and that led to the stampede. All of these are man-made tragedies for which some accountability needs to be fixed. You can't say कि घनश्याम की पार्टी से किसी ने आके conspiracy कर दिया.
You never know. But I just have to say one thing here. The political party which is trying to preach Yogi Sarkar in Uttar Pradesh, what they have to say about the car sevaks. Innocent car sevaks were killed by them, and their Chief Minister, that time Chief Minister, Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav ji, he said, मुझे तो संविधान की रक्षा करने के लिए दोबारा मारना पड़ा तो मैं दोबारा मारूंगा. So they were roasted. So they got the bullets in their chest because they wanted Bhagwan Shri Ram's temple built there in Ayodhya. So this is what Samajwadi Party is, and they are not going to talk about the stampede which happened during their tenure. It is very unfortunate, I am telling you. But willingly killing car sevaks, what is that? They are not going to answer about that. So do not try to pretend. You people are halal Hindus, and we know it very well. You want certification,
Okay.
so that those people can vote for you.
I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much to Anila Singh and to Ghanshyam Tiwari. Like I said, it's over a period of a month and a half, whether you believe the figures or doubt the figures. Point is, a large number of people turned out for the Maha Kumbh. Yes, there were the two terrible tragedies that happened. One at the Sangam Ghat itself on the Mauni Amavasya day, and then there was the stampede at the New Delhi railway station. But if you were to discount that, you have not seen this kind of a congregation of humanity at any one given point of time or any month and a half period in recent memory. And to that itself, I think it is an onerous achievement that has been underlined.